Okay, so this is the Civilian Sport. Well, it's actually just the Nissan Civilian, but I added the Sport onto the decals, as you can see there. So 1989, 4.2 litre straight six diesel, 5-speed manual. Don't really use first, just start in second. Quite low ratio. You can get them changed to a highway diff, but I'm fine pottering around in the original diff setup. Just done 102,000 kilometres, so it's a baby. These things can go forever if you look after them. They do occasionally, well quite often really, have an overheating problem, but I've rectified that somewhat. Similar setup in the engine and whatnot to the 80s and 90s Nissan Patrols and what's the other one, Safaris. So yeah, still plenty of parts around and reasonably easy to work on. From underneath, not so much, but from above, between the passenger and driver's seat, there's the engine bay, which just lifts up with a lid. So I'm just going to take a walk around and have a look at all the outside and explain everything, and then go and do the interior. So I'll start at the front here. So as you can see, I've got a bike rack on there. It actually is mounted on a removable pole. See the pin underneath, because it's not really legal, so I pull that pole out, take the bike and bike rack off when I go for a COF. Up the top I've just got these massive spotlights that plug into the cigarette lighter. They've got about 20 different patterns for the lights, just white lights, but I've just got them really to use in a static state without all the flashing, for when I'm setting up in the dark, or getting out of somewhere in the dark, or yeah, on the open road if I'm, nothing else is around. Any use really. They're suction cupped on and they plug into a cigarette lighter, so they can go at the back. They could even go in my car. Stone guard has saved a few stone chips, but stones still get up, but definitely has saved some. Yep, so my bike's on there, and as you can see the number plate's obscured, so I use just another plate that I made up on front of the bike. It's just stashed away at the moment. And just behind that wheel there, you can see that Schrader valve, so that's for the air suspension in the front, and there's one for the back as well. Yeah, so no modifications to the engine, but in there I've got a pusher fan that I can turn on and off. The pusher's air that's coming towards the radiator through the radiator, and then the factory fan pulls that air to cool down the engine. So in addition of that auxiliary pusher fan is probably about another 10 or 15% of cooling. 3 mirrors, pretty standard. I use the top 2, but not that bottom round one, mainly the middle one. Oh. That's I quite like this model, probably my favourite model, and that's why I own one, for this window here, that when you're driving you can see that corner really well, so that's good, yeah. We'll do it on the roof later, but the Fiamma awning is 4.5 metres wide and just rolls out and then gets stabilised with those arms and little brackets on the side of the bus. That's about only like 40% of the way out, so another 2.5 times that. You can also tie it down if it's windy, which I've done quite a lot. So yeah, sliding window there for the passenger, pilot light. There's a wardrobe in behind there, so that's why that window is whited out. And down here I've got the self-containment batteries. So you can see they're installed just over 5 years ago, so they're definitely ready for a change. 2 6 volts in there in series, so 12 volts. Everything's hooked up to them, and with a fuse system, etc. And 226 amp hours, but that's halved for wet old school lead acid batteries, so 113 amp hours, which is probably halved again. because they're 5 years old. So I need to change that and get a better setup so I can capture more solar power. There's just a diesel tank there. That's just to power the heater, which we'll see inside. So just close that up. Oh. Yeah, so this is the model with the plug door. So as opposed to the bifold door or other configurations, so you can see it just plugs into that cavity, and that's much better, I think, than the bifold ones. Those two vents are for the fridge. I'm pretty sure they're for the fridge. One brings air in for cooling down the engine of the fridge maybe, and one expels air. I don't really know. I know they're connected to the fridge, I think. Another little bracket there, gauge, that looks pretty old, but yeah, so that's what they do. I've just got excuse me with the camera. Right, so these were new, what's that, 18 months ago, October 2023. These are two 12-volt starter batteries, so 24 volts in series. That's just to start the bus for the engine. The red ones are for the self-containment 12-volt system. Yeah. And this here is 9-kilo gas bottle, so pretty straightforward. Just has a normal fitting and then a solenoid in there, which helps for the safety. Turn it on inside, or turn on the gas first, switch it on inside, and you can spark up the fridge. The fridge is three-way, so you can either use the gas, which is the most economical, especially when I'm parked up, always use the gas. 12 volt when I'm driving, and but that, if you're not driving, it sucks a lot of power because it's an old fridge. And or else you can use, of course, 240 volt. The gas also supplies the hot water, the Atwood hot water system for the shower. It's great. It's got a pump on it, really good pressure, nice and hot. And also the sink, which is for cooking and dishes, and also for we'll see this when we get inside, so I just use it as a bathroom sink. And then the oven and stovetop, so full oven, grill, 4 burners, sorted. As you can see there's almost 80,000, what's that? No, it's almost 77,000 Ks on the hubometer. That's since it's been in New Zealand, I assume, so you pay your rucks based on whatever that is up to. And if you can see in there, they're double axled or double wheeled, or I don't know the terminology, but really good stability at the back. Couple of vents there, screens on both sides for these opening windows, which is great because you can have really good airflow and no insects. And these are little brackets, I'll show you a close up of those. So they just like clip into there, and then you can extend out with that little knob, loosen up, and the poles extend out, and they collapse into there, into that channel, and then they get wound up through that rod. Okay, so here is the water inlet, so that's just 170 litres, 140 litres of fresh water. I put a bit of chlorine in just to make sure. I don't drink it, I just use it for bathroom and kitchen duties. I take bottled water or a bladder, goon bag of water. This is the 240 volt lead, and then there's another adapter that attaches to that for when you're at a campground, or sometimes I just plug it into the house. I do that garage house before I go away to get the fridge and freezer cooled right down. This is a really neat contraption. It's a clothesline, just clips on, and those two brackets there, and then pulls out, and then you can put your clothes on there. So yeah, to dry or just air out. Now I'm just gonna like get this ladder sorted. Right, and I'll show you what's up on the roof. So that's what the awning looks like up here. Just need to give that a clean every now and again, particularly the top gets a bit dirty. So down the end there we've got a satellite dish, just a manual wind up. It's quite a performance to get it in position and then connect to the sat box and whatnot, but like I don't really use satellite TV anymore, I just stream while I'm away. So that's just it's going to stay there. 100 watt solar panel, and then more recently I've got this 200 or 300 panel, so they're plugged into the powering electrical system and 2 vents. Main thing with these vents is that yeah, with all the motion of like traveling around, the sealant gets loose and cracks, and with the sunlight, so every now and again I just need to use like some kind of not normal gaps but a leak stop, which is like a foaming kind of paint solution, and you just spray that on. Most of the time I don't get leaks. And then down there, you might not be able to see it, is just the roof vent for the bathroom and kitchen fans. Just here is a similar space to where that 300 watt panel was put on, so I could get another one for there, or I'm also thinking about getting a small rack to put boogie boards and stuff on. So yeah, that's the roof setup. Get down off the ladder without hurting myself. So at the back, I've got this rear vision mirror, but I can't really see much because of my eyesight, so I should get actually a reversing camera. But this tube unscrews at the other end, and then there's fishing rods and another few bits of pole, and I just never opened it up, which is a bit silly. I over put it on. Now this cool contraption is a thule, as some people call it, bike rack. You can see there's the 2 channels for the 2 bikes to go on, and then it clips onto the tow ball, and then with an adapter, the European socket needs an adapter from I think 13 pin to 7 pin. It just plugs into your electrical lighting system, and then you've got indicators and brake lights and reversing lights. Yeah, it just clamps on to the tow ball, and believe it or not, 80 odd kilos stays there. You can see I have got 2 stabilizing bungees, and I'm probably going to put on a couple of other straps at the top somewhere. Just got a bit worried about it long term. Yeah, I could show you in the boat, but I didn't bring the keys, and I have to hinge this box back. So I'll do the box first and try and do the boot at the end. So you can see there it's just got the lights, and I've made up an extra number plate for on the bottom because this one's obscured. So if you can see here, just flip that back, so it clips on, and then okay, I just didn't have the camera in position. 2 zips there, and then also another zip there. Hard. Okay, so what have we got in here? A sleeping bag just for packing, some diesel, which I use stabilizer for up to 2 years, but usually a year to 18 months. Just some oil, standard 30-40 for the Jenny. Yeah, some water for the battery as a still water, some coolant, and that's some oil, extra oil there for the engine, because it's different diesel oil than the generator. Just bits and pieces, little funnel, barbecue plate, yada yada yada. So what I've got over here, it's easily pulled that off, is there's a little 2 kilowatt generator, which is magic. It's really cool, and I've used that a lot. It's sort of disguised a bit because I don't really want someone. It's 2.5 grand new, well they were, and probably still get about 1200 for them. Just petrol generator, and that just sparks up the whole van on 240 volts. Here I've got 20 litres of petrol for the generator, and the 20 litres of diesel under there is for the actual bus and or the heater. There's a couple of ramps. Usually use the ramps on the back wheels to raise it up, or the front wheels. And also this ladder, because sometimes I need to go on the roof, and that's a telescopic ladder. And I've also got a spirit level in here, and I've never figured out why. A bunch of funnels there for the different fluids, and then the little other attachments for the fluids. So I'll just put this stuff back in here. So yeah, as I say, I just like to disguise it a little bit. And then I'm going to put this back together just for the moment, just because I want to tip this back and show you how that works. Yeah, I can accidentally pushed the off button, so I'm going to have to edit the pieces together, which is annoying. But anyway, yeah, all these plastics and rubbers around the windows and the windscreen wipers and yeah, just all of these bits on the outside I treat at least once a year. So I just get one of those rubber doctor or plastic doctor, it's the same product usually, and rub all that down with that and do it twice. And yeah, also that mirror, and it comes up really good, and I think it does help protect, because those sort of things can be quite hard to get because it's such an old vehicle. And I also silicone spray underneath. It's been treated a couple of times in the past, but I use a silicone spray as well, just as in between the major treatments. So down this side, got here, I've got the Atwood water heater. So it looks pretty hoody, but it is a really good heater. The only thing they've had to replace is the thermostatic switch, which sits on the side of the tank, and when it gets below a certain temperature it sparks up the gas flame and heats up the water. So I think it's got like over the side here, it's got like a 15 or 16 litre tank that it's always got heated. So yeah, great for showers, just an all-round really good piece of equipment, and hasn't caused me any troubles yet apart from that one replacement part, and I'll probably go for another one when that dies. Down here we've got it's called the discharge, or yeah, I've forgotten, there's a name for it. Basically, just try and show you that. And you connect another hose up, which is in the boot, and then that's how you connect it to the dump station and just dump all your waste. That there is not waste as in toilet waste. I'll just leave that there for now. But just grey water basically. I don't even know what that vent, sort of grated vent area is for. A Civilian fuel. Now this is, they're just some made up mix. Is some rubber gloves. This is the cassette. Okay, so when that's full from the toilet, pulls out all the way out, and then you dump that waste and clean it out on the inside and pull it back. It's really quite simple, and lots of people do it. The toilet flush isn't working at the moment. I get it fixed, but I just use this, have a bottle of this inside. So it's like a concentrate with water, and I just pour a little bit down the toilet each time. So it's exactly the same as the little pump that it comes with. This is the bathroom, as you'll see, so that's why it's got tin, not glass. Yeah, it's a pretty good nick in lots of areas. Just a few little imperfections in the paint job. This screen I had redone, just popped it off, popped the rivets, took it into a place that does screen doors, and I had it re-screened and then put it back on. It's pretty easy. Driver's side, I just got to fix that wing mirror. Oh, it's not a wing mirror, is it? It's like a side mirror. Just a bit loose, screw it together. Got an extra bit of shade there. Okay, so now we're going to do the inside. So come back and I'll just shut that over. I don't want to damage that door. Nice 70s like fly screen-ish entry. This little stool's from Kmart, it's like $12, and it's got some glow-in-the-dark tape on it, so it stays lit after dark for a while, so don't trip up. A couple of steps up and in. Here's the front cabin. As you can see up the top, those new lights I got, and I've like wired that up not very well. I'll fix it better. And then it's into like a 12-volt cigarette lighter system here. I've got lots in there. Got those big lights, I've got a phone charger, I've got CB radios, which I haven't had to use yet, and I can charge just about every other 12-volt device through there as well. And also got a Bluetooth receiver from my phone for Spotify that goes to the stereo and then goes to the surround speakers. So this is the passenger side. The curtains, these brown curtains I've had made, they run throughout the bus and they go right around the top there, so enclose this cabin. and they're just tucked behind there while I'm driving. Passenger seat, Stella's taken a ride in it, Mum had a ride once. Slidey window, magazine rack behind there, are fuses and a reservoir for the window squirters, a good vent system for the demisters, but I haven't tried it out yet because the actual fan, there's something stuck in it with some damage and it's really loud, so I've only gone for a few sort of summery trips, and I've had these fans which from Temu, which are just so good. They're plugged into the 12 volt and they're really good for cooling you down. Of course there's no aircon. If I have a crash and we're caught underwater or something, that will smash a window. Yeah, this little console I made, so yeah, it's got all those bits which you've already seen, a little bit of storage on the side, coffee holder, old aircon I think that is down the bottom, doesn't work anymore. Some of these things haven't worked since it was in Japan, but yeah, old school retro dash, little knob for turning, drink holder, of course it's manual, so you can see the pedals down there. The steering wheel does actually adjust its height or its angle, comes backwards and forwards, but yeah. So, and I just run this the little Bluetooth receiver actually runs through this tape, I just forgot, and that's how it gets in here, and then it plays and it works fine. Very old school. Just more curtains and stuff, as well as the curtains going around the outside of the cab bed to enclose all these windows. But I've also got like a, at the top here, like I can close off the cabin area just to conserve some heat. Little there's one of the speakers up there, little hidey hole there, bedding, not much to see there, but it's just pillows and duvet. Behind here I've got the edge of a 24-inch monitor, a cheap one, Philips one, it's $300. I can plug that into my laptop to do design work, etc. Map of New Zealand, fake grass, I think that's all in the front. If I remember anything else to come back. Yeah, cool 80s clock. It's not on at the moment as you can see, but it comes on that cool 80s green. This is the engine bay here. Won't lift it all away because it's hard to get it down, so yeah, old school man. Big fan up the front. Yeah. And this cupboard has got like a larger table, because I've got a small little table just for coffees and stuff down there, and I've got this larger version. Pull that out, so I'm using that. And here I've got my emergency getaway kit. I've got one of these in the back of the car, the Vitara, and in here. So basically, if something happens like an earthquake or some really bad disaster, I can grab that bag and that vest. I've got tramping boots as well, and I'm off. There's the solar, is it called a regulator or a inverter? No, is it a regulator? Can't remember. Solar controller. In here it's got like how many volts the battery's running at, so yeah, it's just clouded over. So normally it's around 14.4 charging, but now it's just down a bit. It's no big deal. This light up here, this green light, flashes when the batteries have been filled by the solar. So yeah, guys put this in when they put the extra 300 watt solar panel in, so that's new. But yeah, the rest of the electrical wiring will probably need to change. Here is the sort of monitoring system. So at the top is the heater, and then the heater heats up and blows out there. Diesel heater, which is connected to that tank. Fill that up with diesel. That works well in the winter, but it does take quite a few amps to start up. Voltage of the battery, how many amps is going in or being used, can't remember. Water level and for the fresh tanks and the grey tanks. Turn the gas on, so at the moment it's off, and then those two, I never quite worked it out, but I put them both on for the hot water, and then the three big lights which use lots of power, so I only use them when I'm on shore power, like 240 volts. I'll use them a little bit the rest of the time, but Well, that's for those three up the top, and that one's for the outside light. There's one of my rego plates, torches, bungees, shopping bag, tools, lights, backpack. I might go down the end here then work my way back. It might be a bit easier. So this is kind of the view when you come in, so it's pretty neat. And normally when I park up, I have that side of the bus with the curtains as they are, so I always have, or try and always have this side facing north, so that the fridge, that's it there, is always facing south, so it's less likely to get sun on it from the outside. Smart thinking. So I'm going to start at the back. These two little $5 fans that run via USB, and as you can see there, just tucked in there's a little cigarette lighter, and this little mini system is powered by that solar panel, and it goes into a battery in the boot, an old battery which is not even a deep cycle, it's like a just a normal starter battery they had to replace, and it just powers a few things like these fans and Fire TV, and I've got a few other plugs that I've wired up. So yeah, all of this is cool, like a little lounge area, working office area for the daytime, cushions and stuff, and then it all collapses down for a massive bed. We can just do it on one side. Okay, this is my miscellaneous. I usually have that in the front cab when I'm driving. It's just got all my bits and pieces that I readily use. And then this little table is just good to have in the daytime, and then if I, well, anytime, and if I need to, I just put on that table down there. Switch them over. Okay, so we'll go through all these cupboards in a minute, but if we're just looking back this way, I've got like an inverter, which just can be charged by a solar panel or when we're driving, or shore power, and that's just a bit of extra 240 volt over and above the sort of the bus setup, remotes. And I've got a fire stick. What a wonderful piece of equipment. So it's powered and then HDMI'd into this three-way HDMI switch, which has also got an Apple TV hooked up to it, and another line which goes down and around there underneath everything, so if I want to plug in my laptop, so I can have the Fire TV running. This is Afterlife on Netflix, or anything that I can want to stream, YouTube, you name it, TVNZ. And then if I just push the button, if I can find the button, I should be able to go to the screensaver. It might not work. I tried to set it up previously. There it goes. So I've got the Apple TV as a screensaver. I click it one more time and I can see what's on my laptop. This is family photos. Look, this is all just miscellaneous. Tapes. Oh, I can't even, that tape there I got the other day off Temu. It's like you can put it on a wet leak. Other bits and pieces, what's that? Some face masks. Little sticky bits from attaching things, a whole lot of adapters. But yeah, that Fire TV, which is also powered by the battery in the boot and attached to a switch here, because the light that was all set up with here I don't even use. I just use the wiring for that. So yeah, because I'm single, I like having a TV on. It's just kind of a bit of company. That's sad, that's too bad. Yeah, so a microwave only on shore power, or if I had the generator running, but yeah, to be honest, I could probably get rid of that. But as soon as I got rid of it, I'll probably need to reheat something. So yeah, it'll be a good bit of extra storage. So the fridge, yeah, there lets you choose between gas 12 volt and 24 volt. Fridge, I just freeze like 12 or so little bottles of fresh water, drinkable water, before I go, and then I jam them in there, and it just keeps the fridge cool, as extra bit of coolness. What's that? I don't even know what that is. It looks like some rotten food. That's going to stink. I might just go straight in the bin. And then a little light that automatically comes on, and that's, yeah. Oh, that's the freezer compartment, which is I usually have that jam packed for a 10 or 12 day trip. Put that back on. Yeah. And yeah, the switch is broken. The switch here, so I've just got this pin holding it. Does the same job. Oh, just this TV also has a DVD player, so I've got a bunch of DVDs in case I can't stream, which I've been a few places without connection. 4 burners, usually just for my jug, but for cooking as well. I've also got a cooker for outside, just a single burner. Knives, you know, grill, oven. So you can do, I don't know if you'll be able to do a full roast, but you know, why would you want to? Dishes, sink, sanitizer and soap. Extractor fan. So yeah, modern conveniences. Another little fan. Well, that's the big fan quite loud. That's on full. I use that when I'm away in summer a lot. I'll turn this big LED strip on, which you might not even be able to see in a minute. Extra lights, just run on an AA battery. Extra charging capabilities. Little bracket for a 3-way charging cable. Extra power when I'm on shore on 240 volt, or I can plug that into that inverter. Also got another inverter, which I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, I'll come back to all these cupboards and stuff, but down here, the bathroom. So you can use this. I don't. It's like a kitchen, bathroom sink, and then when you tap it up, the water goes into the grey water tank. But I don't use it. I just use like the kitchen sink or the shower. All my showering bits and pieces. The shower is great. Pack scrubber, auto light that comes on, gets charged by USB. It's the toilet, just a standard cassette toilet, like I said. That's the pump there that normally will pump solution from the outside, but yeah, I've just got those bottles that I bring in for that, and you open it up, do your business, and then close it up again. Toilet roll holder, don't use that. A couple of handrails, a sliding window, just manual, and then under there is like the plug. A nice little wooden, there was two small wooden, I don't know, foot mat tray, bathroom rack that I sort of customised and added together. I'm going to extract the fan of the light also, it's controlled there. So down at fire extinguisher, I've got a couple of those around. What's down here is, I like to see what I'm doing, this is all of the electrics pretty much. These are like a 1200 watt inverter, so it's going to, just find the plug. Oh yeah. So I plugged that in, and it's also got the plug for the home router, the 4G router, which I bring on holiday with me. Switch that on, and it's got this really cool light that goes right around. Neat, eh? It looks cool at dusk. It looks really good when it's still a bit less outside with the sun. Brutalist architecture. It uses a bit of power, so I don't always have it on, especially when I'm short of power. So, what now? Inside the cupboards, just miscellaneous cups, mugs, extra water and other things to do with fluids, bits of foam, rags. That's the adapter that you plug into the 240 volt, the orange cable on the outside I showed you, and plugs into like shore power, or just 240 volt on the land. I've got lots of these lights that charge by USB, and then in the night time when they sense light or movement, they come on and light everything up, which are great. A lot cheaper than getting everything wired up. So in there, as you can see, cooking gear, cleaning gear, spare temp down there, and more fluids, self-explanatory. kitchen drawer, dishwash liquid, scrubs, wipes, some like a tool cabinet, drill and other bits, and then a general toolbox. There's another light. Yeah, there's about 15 or 20 of those lights. Kitchen drawer with cutlery. I think it's amazing. This drawer I use a lot. I've got, like, you can see back there, yeah, should be able to, all sorts of miscellaneous, and got these little 1x3 trays that got 3 of them in a row, and yeah, there's just all sorts of medications, pills, contact lens stuff, plasters, and just all miscellaneous little things. Have a look at that, because it's, yeah, interesting to me, maybe to you. Next drawer, paints and other solutions. So yeah, I've got like CRC, silicone, all the different paints for the vehicle, drill bits, glues, knife, pens, more paints, just as you can see, just everything. Battery charger, I use that on all 3 of my vehicles. Pump for the tyres if I need to. Sometimes I let air out if I'm on a soft road. Sometimes I need to put air in. That's that. Oh, an extra like solar sensor light that I put on the outside if I'm in the middle of the watts, so any movement, just for security. All my electrical cables and stuff. Multimeter, which I've used, you know, testing 12 volt. A little vacuum cleaner blower, other electrics, and yeah, and here I've got just more kitchen stuff, food, coffee, water, cans of food, blue tack, notes, me and me notes, and getting towards the end, just more. I've just got, like you can see, I just take everything. So many different fixing agents or fixing devices. For cables and pipes and whatnot. A little extra burner if I get into trouble, a tarp, a bit of solar shower in there, some more rope, and just, yeah, tennis balls even. I'm just trying to think. Oh, there's my finger on it. That's about everything really. The vents in the roof just wind up, so I've got these extra shades on them that I can wind them up or down, up, and then I put these shades on them, which are for car windows for kids and babies. Well, it normally does fit in there. It does. And another one there. Just add a bit of extra darkness in the morning because I'm a late sleeper. Top shelves. Haven't done them yet. Clock. Few things there. And I've got the wire. Our speakers are in there. Speaker wiring and those little lights. I don't really. I do use them a bit actually. They're not very powerful though. And also the wiring from that 12 volt solar system. Jammy kind of night wears, casual wears when I'm not going out of the bus. Storage for clothes and other things when I go away. Empty. This is all like ropes and bungees and tie downs, and I use cable ties. Use a lot of that stuff a lot of the time. Light. And then it's warm light, and then I've got like a bright light for doing like dishes, which is good. All my receipts and like manuals for everything. Toilet paper, the tissues, as you can see. I don't really need to tell you that. This is sort of coffee and tea, other regularly used things. Another storage towel compartment. It's got 2,000 hand towels, bath towels, flannels, face washes, That's one of Mum's old cuddly rugs. New addition to the van since she left us. And then DVDs and books, which I've gone on here quite a bit, especially when I've been off grid. Down the end there's binoculars, so they get used a lot when I'm in the back and looking out to sea. Fake plant, by the way. Underneath here, a bit hard. That's the solar panel. It's like a solar blanket that plugs into the inverter to charge that. So I can actually have that outside, and the cable's long enough for it to come inside and plug into this while I'm using it. That makes sense. That bin there is full of canned food. It's just got a kite on top. Dehumidifier, speaker, more cables. Oh, there's the binoculars, and that's where that little inverter goes when I'm travelling. And on this side, there's just all sorts of stuff. Probably some of which I don't even need to have in here. A big A3 right drawing pad. Oh, you know what do I draw? Two 2 litre water containers. I've just got a pump as well, which submerges into these and then pump it into the freshwater tank from the outside. That's really a really good addition, because I've used those a few times. I've been caught out with using all my water up, and I need to fill up the tank with those, and it's really hard holding a 22 kilo weight up in the air and pouring it in with a funnel, because you need 3 or 4 hands. Yeah, I don't know what else that is. What is that? I'll have a look later. Yeah, so I usually have all of these windows open and obviously closed at night. I'll just flick that back, so I can just flick this 1, 2, 3 back, and it should carry on playing Afterlife again. It might have paused it. Yeah, it's gone on like a screensaver. So that's about everything. Yeah, if I think of anything else, I'll have to edit it in. But yeah, I love this vehicle. Home on wheels. It looks really good in my backyard. And it's yeah, I have the pilot light on. So just going to show you how this Thule cargo box, which is attached to the bike rack mechanism, which is attached to the tow ball and the wiring, how that tilts backwards so I can open the boot. So the videoing is going to go a bit skewish for a moment, but basically what I'm about to do is stand on that there, which pushes down and releases the whole thing somehow through its mechanisms, and this tilts backwards. I'm going to do this with 2 hands, so oh yeah, hurt a bit, but so it just reaches there. So that works. Amazing piece of equipment. I've had it on there for like 6 years, pretty much since I owned the bus. It should only have about 60 kilos in it, or 80 kilos maybe, but I've got probably close to 100 with the fuels. And then it allows me to unlock the boot. Another censored light there. Right. So, some hose, a little shovel. I've got a 4-seater table that folds out. That's that silver box there. A couple of good like camping chairs. A little table, which the cooker, which is in there. It's just a single cooker that runs on those disposable gas bottles. Terrible for the environment, of course, you dispose of them, but oh well. Evacuation hose, that's the word I was looking for before. That hose there hooks on to the grey water plug I showed you on the other side, and then it goes down the drain at the dump stations. Another freshwater hose, just plug that into any freshwater source and fill up the water tank. That battery is just a standard 12-volt battery, but like a big grunty one. And when I changed it to 12-volt batteries for the starter motor, I showed you earlier. One of them was bung, I just gave away. Someone said on Facebook that they can use it. And this one was still at a bit of charge. So basically that is plugged in up through wires up there and into that little solar panel there, and that helps those two little fans go and the fire stick. And it could probably take a few more low ampage items. Just some extra water, one of those gas canisters, some extra fan belts, my gum boots, and over there just miscellaneous. So that's all that there, and in the back here, you probably won't be able to see it, tank for the rear window washers, and also some switches for the, I think it's for the 240 volt system, like they're like fuses but they're switches. So yeah, I'll see if I can put this down as well. Yep, it's just that hook that I found in there, and then now I need to pull this back, but normally I do it standing around now the other side over here, so I've got a balanced push on it and I push it with 2 pushes, but now I'm going to try it on the side with 1, so I'll see how we go. Clicks back into place, reasonably straight, and away we go. So yeah, that should conclude the tour of the Civilian Sport. Beautiful piece of engineering. I love it. I'll never get rid of it. It's just if I go overseas or live somewhere else, I need to be able to store it inside because I don't want it to rust. Have a cover over it in the winter, well, unless I'm using it a lot. Boom.